Alright folks, thought I'm just gonna be here in the truck for around an hour here driving. Hopefully I don't talk that long, but thought I'd do a little tractor talk here. The video I put up of the first video of the door handle, door latch issue on the Massey Ferguson stirred up a little healthy debate, conversation there regarding Massey and Deere and different things. I apologize for the audio. One of you pointed out I do not know what causes that. I'm using a GoPro Hero 3 here. It is inside its case, but it is the case with the open back, which is supposedly supposed to help the audio, but that's what I've been using all along. So, if any of you know what causes that and how to correct it, I'd appreciate any info on that. I could probably look it up online, but I just hadn't took the time. But anyway, but yeah, I've got the video ready to go on the door latch fix on the Massey. It will go up today. If I get time, this video will go up along with it. Yeah, that is now fixed. And wasn't a hard fix at all. It was simple, but it's one of those things that shouldn't have been fixed, but oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't want to step on anybody's, or well, back up. I hope I hadn't been stepping on too many toes. You John Deere fans out there, I'm still a John Deere fan. I like John Deere stuff, especially historically. And even the newer stuff, it looks great. It's you know, green paint looks good. It's just it ain't what it used to be, and I think several of you are agreeing with me on that point. But across the board, I don't care what brand it is, it's not as good as it used to be. It just, everyone's cut corners. It is what it is. But yeah, you guys out there running the newer Deeres and having good luck with them, you know, that's great. I'm not saying they all are duds, but yeah. So some of the last videos I had of the 6330, well, I never did really have many videos of the 6330. I became disgusted with it and just, yeah. But those last videos were, you know, obviously I was selling the tractor at that point in time, and I wasn't just going to go around dogging it. At that point in time, the tractor was fine. I had fixed all of the known issues I was having with it that I was aware of. I was selling it because I wasn't sure how many more issues were going to arise, and caused me the grief it had caused me that last year. Yeah, I bought that tractor in June, I believe. Yeah, it was June, early June, I think, of 2013. So it ran most of my hay season, did most of my row crop spraying, fed hay that winter, and then ran the entire 2014 season on everything. when I bought that tractor, you know, I paid a lot of money for that tractor, and I thought, this is it. This is good. You know, I thought, man, this is the top of the line I can get right now. I shelled it out, and I said, this is it. I'm going to dedicate myself and pay this thing off, and I put a healthy down payment on it too. But yeah, I was going to pay it off and do like my dad did with the 4020 and the 4440, and keep that thing 30-something years, run it to death. But it was just having too many little quirks. I mean, and the lack of, if the dealer had worked with me better than they did, I would possibly still have it. But that lack of support is a huge factor in my opinion. And yeah, it's just there's one dealer in this area, I will name them. It's Coker Tractor. They are still a family-run business. They're only one dealership. They're small. The entire family's in there running it. They're good. They're great. My tractor did not come from there. One of you hit the nail on the head in the comments there, which I think y'all kind of already knew where it came from. There's another John Deere dealer in the area that's spreading out to multiple dealerships. Some of you around here can figure out who that is. They ain't doing so hot either. I have got some things from them, and it's hard to communicate with these people. I don't know if it's just that they're overburdened from the amount of business that they're doing, and they just can't spend the time with. I don't know, but I just got disgusted, and you know, I was standing there after harvest last year when things started to slow down, and I'm like, I can do something now, or I can stay with this. And I just kind of ran some things through my head and said, you know, that's it, the 6330's going, I'm doing something different. So what did the 6330 Premium do? Now, I've got a relative, and he farms with me some on the row crop side of things. He has a 6330 also. It was newer than mine, a couple of years. It is a non-premium version. Had less hours on it than mine. He did get it used also. He bought that tractor out of an auction. I went over to almost Mississippi River and hauled that tractor back here for him. Now I've got another relative. We currently don't farm together. He has cattle and hay. But he bought a 6230. I should know what that model is, but I hauled that tractor with him also. He bought that off an individual in northwest Tennessee. It was almost in Kentucky. Now, he don't put as many hours a year on the tractor as we do, but he hasn't had any issues with that tractor I'm aware of. It's an 08 or 09 model, somewhere right around in there. I think he's had pretty good luck with it so far. But of the two 6330s here, both have electrical issues, both have starting issues, cold starting issues. I could never figure that out. Yeah, I even put a new battery in the 6330 that I got, and it helped, but it still had cold starting sluggishness. It was just, I don't know. I have read some issues with the starters on those tractors, and I think there was a couple of different speeds of starters. I don't know if mine was a slow speed starter, which I don't know. But, mine got to a point where if you did plug the block heater up when it got into the 30s outside temperature, you were lucky if you was going to get it started on the first turnover too. And then it slowly became where I had to put battery charger on it, jump it off. It just, yeah. The battery had an issue. That was one problem that led to some things, but mine would just throw up all kinds of errors, issues, things. They were random. They never were the same. You couldn't track them down. My uncle's, one day he was over our place spreading fertilizer. Kept telling him it was running hot from all, everything we could look at on the tractor. It did look like it was running hot. Kept telling him hot, errors, all this stuff. I don't remember what we wound up figuring out on that, but that went away on his. But in his display, it's different than the premium version, but the LCDs, readouts and stuff, they're going bad. They quitting working. Like the fuel gauge, I think when it's full, you got a bar at the top, and then you don't have another bar till it's about a quarter empty, something like that. The hour meter's flaking out on it, different things, and it's like, really. Another time we had a 25-acre field. We were working together. He lost his power shifts. He had his ranges, lost his power shifts. We had some radios we were talking back and forth. I forget what I was doing. I don't know if I was spraying or what. He radioed. He said, "I've lost all my power shifts. I ain't got 4 gears here." And it blew a fuse in the back panel and different things we figured out. Mine, it loved to think it had water in the fuel. And here's what I couldn't figure out on that. The 6415 is running out of the same tank of fuel where I store my fuel as the 6330 was. Never any water come out of that thing. Even when the 6330 said it had water in the fuel, there wasn't any water come out. The computer on that tractor, the little multifunctional display over there, it come up, give an alarm, hey, you got water in the fuel. Okay, big deal, let me keep running, I'll drain it at the end of the day like you normally can. No, it went a step further. Hey, we're going to derate your power. Well, you derate the power, I couldn't run the baler. You'd get nearly to a full bale, it's choking the crazy thing down. So you had to stop there in the field and turn the tractor off, which I think that's all that fixed it, was turn it off, start it back on. But I'd get out, drain the fuel bowl, look for any water, it looked fine, get back in it, it was happy. Run down the field, Next day, do it again. I got tired of having to stop multiple times when I'm in a hurry, trying to get hay done, trying to beat rain, the dew, nightfall, whatever, and the thing's, regulating itself and, doing what it wants to do instead of what I need to get done. Mine had issues with heating as well. It was different. My uncle's was telling him he was running hot in the field. He wasn't doing anything strenuous. Mine was bad to alarm and say I was running hot driving down the road, field to field or whatever, and then of course again, we're going to derate the power on you and limit you to how fast you can go and all of that. And the way the alarm, it would come up with an error and say, okay, you're running hot, and it'd be yellow. It'd give you maybe a minute or two, and then it would turn red and like, well, we're going to shut you down here, you know. I don't like that. You know, I know it's trying to protect itself and you know, keep from destructing itself or damaging something. But you know, I had the monitor set to show me engine temperature, transmission temperature, and what. And I mean, I know what is too hot. You know, you're running around 180, 190, 200, you're okay. You get up above the 200s and whatnot, you need to start worrying a little bit. I get that, you know. But you know, it would decide on its own what it thought was time to shut it down. Then I was mowing hay once last year with it, and it wasn't the engine overheating, it said the transmission was overheating. And it kind of came up in stages. I forget when it came on, maybe at the 180s, 190s, it come on and said it was hot. It did get on up to about 200, and then it shut the tractor. I had to just stop the field and let it set. I had coolant, everything looked good. I was scratching my head. It's like, oh, you know, what now? So yeah, that got old really fast. Then the starting issues started out of nowhere. It was funny. I was spraying with it, and my sprayer had 3 sections on it, electronic solenoid valves, controlled spray sections, and the thing started, I guess it was losing voltage to the back, or to the sprayer back there, and my sections were cutting on and off without me doing it, and talking about driving a person nuts trying to run GPS and, you know, making passes, and then all of a sudden sections are going on off of that, you know it, and you know, okay, well, what have I missed and what have I not, blah blah blah. Yeah, it started doing that, and then one day I pulled up. I had just enough time to retank my sprayer, get my tank mixed up, and go spray a field of beans before the dew started setting. So I got there, shut the tractor off, tanked up, popped back in. It would not start for nothing. I mean, it was there 15, 20 minutes max tanking up. It was fine when I shut it off. It wouldn't start, wouldn't hit a lick. I was beating my head against the steering wheel because I was fighting time, and it just would not start. And I remember I got off at one point and went in the house frustrated because it wouldn't, with all the GPS and the monitors. Well, like I could just go grab another tractor and go at it. I went back out there, tried it a couple more times, wouldn't do nothing, and finally I was about to give up on it. I turned the key, started up first lick. I'm like, what in the world? So here I was. It finally started. It was okay, let's go get this done. Turned around, looked at my guidance system. It said data corrupted, unit reset, whatever. It lost all my parameters, all my fields, all my boundaries. It lost everything in that unit. I don't know if it was me just constantly trying to start the tractor and it cutting on and off or what, but yeah, I lost all that, and then there I was again, fighting time, running around with tape measure trying to get all my values threw back in it somewhat so I could go down there and get that field sprayed. So anyway, you know, the straw that breaks the camel's back started happening right around in there. And then the tractor started to develop a lope in it. This is where things started getting a little ugly with tractoring. Oh, I said tractoring, sorry, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, the tractor started getting a lope in it around 1200 RPMs. I was out spraying, I'd idle it down, go out and fold my booms up on the sprayer, and it would just, you know, lope, you know, and like, good grief. It wouldn't do it consistently, it would come and go. I thought maybe that was a fuel issue, it was not. I know fuel issues, fuel filter stopping or whatnot, they can cause some headaches. But I religiously change out my fuel filters. I have staged filters on my fuel tank. I mean, I'm consistently filtering the fuel because I've had those issues and I didn't want to have them again. Had them in the 6415. It wasn't its fault, but yeah, I got the fungus in the fuel and stuff in that, yeah. But anyway, but yeah, I got that lope in it. I went to Tri-Green one day. I went to the store. I said, look, I'm having all these issues with this tractor. Starting issues, loping, and whatnot. They get a guy out of the back. Well, you know, I can check your grounds. You know, that was about all he said. You know, keep having trouble with it, you know, bringing in, let's look at it. Okay, well, what's that going to cost me? You know, it's about $90 an hour plus parts, whatever happens when we can get to it. I'm in the dead middle of hay season, putting beans in the ground, spraying, all that. I ain't going to just bring my tractor up there, leave it with you. 2 months later, get it back, pay you some ridiculous bill, and it might not be fixed right. Because it wasn't being consistent. It was constantly something else. I went around all the grounds when everything looked fine. I went around wiggling. Yeah, I was one day, it wouldn't start. It was spinning over, turning over okay. It wouldn't start. I got up in there, started wiggling cable harnesses and different things, got back in it, started, it was fine. Well, somewhere, I don't know. But it did that. Then it got to the point where it started up fine. Sat there, run for maybe 10-15 seconds, then it would shut off. It would turn off, just like you turn the key off. Die. Then the monitor over there would throw up an error and say, invalid transmission. Been running this thing nearly 2 years and you finally say, oh, I don't like the transmission in here. Code, I just okay, it was one thing after the other. It never was consistent. The starting and dying issue, Started up 10 times, never would do it. Go down on the way, stay, start it up, you know, be letting it warm up, boom, turn off. It's like you turn the key off. When you can't reproduce it, it makes it very difficult. And I believe all this was had to be electronic. And yeah, these issues, they continued after the new battery went in the tractor. The new battery was a major argument. They felt there was a bad cell in my battery. It was causing that, and I believe that did have to do a little bit with the cold starting issues. But I'm not completely convinced it was a bad battery. But so, okay, I'll go down to Interstate Batteries or somewhere, and I'll get a battery for $150. It won't fit. The tractor's engineered to accept one battery. The one battery is only sold by John Deere that I'm aware of. Some of you may have crossed this issue before and may know something I don't. That battery's going to cost you $400. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I priced a battery that electrically would work, cranking amps and whatnot, at 2 different places, $150, but both of the places, right off the bat, when they asked me what was going into, they're like, oh yeah, that may not fit. No, it wouldn't fit. So, yeah. Yeah, it had plenty enough quirks. But anyway, that's my spiel on the 6330. Now, from the time I took over this farm, I bought 4 John Deere tractors. All 4 came from Tri-Grain. One of them came from a different Tri-Grain dealership, but they all 4 came from Tri-Grain. The first one was a small tractor. It was a 5055D, 2-wheel drive. That tractor had a clutch recall that they told me after I bought it. They would not even let me pick it was a safety recall. Wouldn't even let me pick the tractor up for several weeks until that was addressed. So I was already on the clock paying for a tractor that I couldn't use. I put about 30 hours on that tractor and the starter died on it. It wouldn't even crank. I had to actually jump across the solenoid. Solenoid wasn't bad, so it was, but it was integrated into the starter. So you had to replace the whole starter. So anyway, I could have easily replaced the starter there, but no, yeah, bring it, carry it back down. Just load it up, carry it down there. It sat there for almost a month, and they finally put a starter on it. So I had that tractor in about 80 hours, upgraded to a bigger D-Series that was 4-wheel drive. That tractor didn't give me any trouble. Sold that tractor to a friend of mine. He still got it. As far as I know, it's still fine. I sold that to him. I bought the 5095M. Now, the 95M, I think I noted the heater didn't work in it for a while. It had some hoses that had a 90-degree bend in them that were basically kinked. I found them. They were keeping fluid from going up to the heater core in the cab, so found those, unkinked those, got that working. I didn't really have any major issues with that tractor. It had some little quirks, but it wouldn't anything like the 6330. So then I traded that tractor off on the 6330 Premium in high hopes of ending my tractor searches, because I thought, you know, that's the tractor to have, and that should do me. But yeah. So this is turning into a long-winded video. But yeah, So got the Massey now, and just see how it holds up. Like I said, some of the comments. The deal with the Massey. So far, everything's been it seemed fairly minor. I've been able to work on it myself and fix everything. Haven't had to carry it back. So I'll just keep running with it right now. Like I said, they seem to want to work with me, and they seem concerned. AGCO's I think it's doing good there on that. I think AGCO wants a piece of deer. Everybody wants a piece of deer, but of the guys out there, I think they're the closest to really getting a big chunk out of them, just with the product they got. It is going to be it's not going to cost as much as a deer of the comparable features that you get. And yeah, there's some things that are cheaper, like plastics and different things seem cheaper, but if it holds up mechanically, that's going to say a lot. But anyhow, yeah, that's my spiel. I'm not saying all the deers out there are bad. Anything with a diesel particulate filter on it, I just won't touch it. It just ain't gonna happen. Been down that road with an 08 Dodge Cummins. Not gonna happen. No new diesel, no newer diesel in a truck or tractor, unless it has another way around the DPF. And I'm not particularly fond of the diesel exhaust fluid that you have to use in some of them, but that's probably a better method, and it's probably better on the engine than DPF route. But anyway, that's a much debated argument. Anywho, yeah, I know some guys have noted, trying Kubota. Kubota's trying to do something. I know they're trying to get into the bigger row crop tractors and whatnot, but they're going to have to beef things up. Them tractors just are puny. I'm just going to say it, they're puny. I've had to pull some out, neighbors and different things. I pulled one out with my Dodge truck. I mean, they're just too light. The Massey has already pulled out a Kubota. 70-80 horsepower cab Kubota. It has already went to the rescue on that. Of course, the 6330 pulled out the same Kubota before too. But yeah, just not a big Kubota fan. New Holland case, the same thing. Diesel particulate filters, and the horsepower range I'm looking at, there's no power shifts or anything, so you do that. McCormick, like I said, that was still second on the list. They're going to the diesel particulate filters and stuff. I could have got the X 60, 30s, 20s, 40s in the Perkins. That probably would have been an okay tractor. But the transmission setup, joystick setup, all that in the Massey was just superior to anything else I've ever been in. Loader work with that tractor, handling hay is just, man, that's nice. So, but yeah. So yeah, that's that. If I have to abandon the Massey, like I said, I will most likely go back to deer, and it will be early 2000s, 1990s models. I'm just gonna be done with this new stuff. Yeah, like I said, I've said that in some of the comments already. But I just wanted to get on here, air out the 6330. I have not fully explained the extent of the issues that was with that tractor, and I know some of you have been getting the feeling of how disgusted I got with that tractor and have just been coming right out with it. So there it is. I just couldn't continue to live with those things going on, and having nobody to try to help me figure it out. When the dealer is only concerned about money, anyway. I know the tractor was still not under any warranty, but yeah, I remember in the old days, when my dad used to go to dealerships and whatnot, if he had a little issue with the 4440 or the 4020, the guys would talk to you. Now the guys at Coker Tractor, they'll sit down and listen to you and offer some advice. Them guys have been around a while. The issues I was having with 6330 was I work in electronic engineering, but if you don't have all the schematics and all the ins and outs and know the software and the stuff that's going on, it gets above your head real quick. And that's what it was leading to. But yeah, you used to get advice and helps and things to try, but man, when the dealership ain't gonna, they're gonna not tell you anything, and they're more focused on getting your tractor in there so they can make, money per hour off of you. That ain't cutting it. Yeah, that's another thing. When I was looking at tractors, like I said, I looked at the Case, the New Holland, the Kubota, the McCormick's. This car dealership mentality that's going on at the dealers, I hate it. I can't stand it. Immediate turn off. I do not like going to an equipment dealership. If I pull up on the lot, I park my truck, I go out and start walking around. I may just want to look. Here comes a salesman walking out. Hey, how you doing? I don't want to be bothered. If I want something, I'll come in. My dad, we used to go with him. We'd look at equipment. You could go look at a piece of equipment, walk around. An older guy might come out, or you might go in. An older guy might come out, and you might strike up a conversation that you spend more time talking about farming and other equipment than whatever it was you're looking at. Nowadays, it's like. And the guys they're getting, they're like their ex-car salesmen. Some of them, they have no farming background. They're just car salesmen. I hate that. I don't want that. I want somebody that knows what, I'm trying to do, what farming is. What. I don't like, if I have a simple question, I don't know, let's go look at the brochure. I hate that. That ain't cutting it. I will say there is a dealer here that was bad about that. They are the McCormick Massey Ferguson dealer. And here's the situation with that. They're getting a lot into these compact tractors and little tractors, these 20, 30, 40 horsepower tractors. And people are coming up, they have these spoggers and whatnot, and they're not farmers. And, they're sending a guy out the door like a car salesman to sell these things, and they're making their money. They're making big money off these little tractors. They're not making as much off the big ones. So they're slowly turning into these like car dealerships, these little tractor dealerships. So I don't like that. Like I said, there's one here it's notorious for it. So I'm doing like I do automotive, you know, autos, trucks, whatever. If I want to look, I'm going to go at night after hours on Sunday when they're closed and look, because I don't want to be bothered. You know, I'll be able to take my time and look around little details of things and go from there. But yeah, these dealerships trying to turn farm equipment into like car dealerships, that ain't cutting it anyway. Okay, long-winded video on some tractor talk there, explanation 6330. If you've made it this far through the video, thank you. Feel free to comment, start up any conversation you want. I enjoy the feedback and enjoy conversing back and forth with you guys. Like I said, that's that. I'm about to be at the end of my journey here. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and you know, fire away in the comments. You know, it's a big deal. Most of us are farming that's watching these, I think, and we all trying to achieve the same goals. So anywho, I'll try to get this edited up. Thanks for watching again. See y'all guys.